Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time of day or night it is that you're listening to or watching this. I wish you the best of it. My name is Grant Lamontang from Multitool.org, and you are watching or listening to EDC-TV. With me, as usual, are my good friends Abe and Inky. How are you guys doing tonight?
Good.
Good.
Inky, I heard you got something new that you'd like to show us real quick before we begin. What have you got there?
What do you mean? No, I'm just kidding. I got a pink dagger.
Now, just for the people watching at home, this pink dagger is obviously not a dagger because it's a clip point, but it's got pink handles, and it is a dagger brand with two
Nice looking
R's in
knife.
dagger. And it has like a screaming skull motif on the pocket clip.
I had to get it, even though it was pink.
So what's that model called?
What you got to ask me the hard questions for?
Okay, I'll ask you the easy question. So how do you open that knife, which we can already see?
You make the blade come out of the handle. Flip it.
Okay, so let's back to the hard question. What's that model called?
You know, I don't know, because I was going to get the Pero or Piro. And I switched to this. I don't remember the name. But, I think they're going to stop making them. It's big, 5-inch blade.
Okay, what about you, Abe? You got anything new since the last time we talked?
No, I haven't really. Well, I found some stuff that I had new that I just kind of forgot that I had was my Hogue. And then there's this one.
Yeah, what is
My
that?
Cobra Tech. This is my Cobra Tech knife.
Nice.
Oh, I
It's a
like
nice
it.
frame lock. It's sturdy. It's big. It's not as big as Inky's,
Thank you.
but it's a large knife.
So I've actually got something really interesting here, and I'm just wondering if Abe's going to be able to identify it. What do you think,
Sure.
Abe? Are you up for a challenge?
Sure, yeah, my brain might recognize it, but it might not communicate to my voice because you know how I have those Sometimers episodes.
Well, let's see what you think of this.
Oh my God, I can't even remember what I named that, but that's one of my. That was a commission. So that was a limited run. That was a commission by a hunting forum in Georgia. Yeah, it's a sparrow knife. Wow.
Yeah, I just wonder where the rest of the knife is. It looks like it broke off somewhere.
Like I said, it was a weird commission. I forget what it was called. It was a forum out of Georgia. They contacted me and they wanted me to make them a special forum knife. And weirdly enough, one of the guys on the forum asked if he could design it for the forum. The guy said yes. They thought it was cool. One of their own guys designed it, and that's what he came up with.
Yeah, it's a nice little knife. Seems like an
Definitely
odd
beautiful.
design. Like I said, it looks like it was a good knife, and then somebody broke it off. But
Yeah.
no, it's wicked sharp. You did a good job on this one.
That looks like a really deep hollow grind.
Yeah, I mean it's an insanely deep grind on that one.
It's like a spearhead, you know.
Yeah,
Way
like
to-
I don't know how well it's coming through on the camera, but you can see a definite curvature there.
Definitely looks like it's supposed to look, that's for sure.
So here's the
Good
question:
job,
was this from On Scene Tactical?
No, that was after short lessons from On Scene Tactical. The last time I ever saw him. It's rough. I don't get a lot of, because I'm a bushcraft guy, I don't get a lot of kayaks.
Yeah, it locks in there really, really almost too good. I haven't actually used this enough to wear it in a little bit, but yeah. What were the odds that you thought I was going to pull out a diving sparrow knife today, huh?
A clue, not very slim, next to none. But yeah, no, I don't even remember what they named it, what the forum named it. I got as a custom maker, that's something that you run into. People approach you and they go, look, can we design a knife or have a knife made by you? And then they want some input into it. And I don't got a problem putting input into it, but I think we touched on this. I can't remember how many episodes ago. Some guys talk about designing stuff and they don't know enough about designing stuff to
Design stuff.
Yeah, to design stuff. Or maybe I remember one guy telling me I'm a guide. I'm an elk guide. I know exactly what a hunting knife should have. And he wanted like this knife to be a multi-tool, but in a fixed blade, just a fixed blade that had so many different edges on it. He wanted a saw on the back for bone saw. I was like, dude, not me. I can't do it.
Well, just doing a quick search on diving sparrow forum knife, and I'm just not seeing this knife anywhere.
It was a really small private. I think how they found out about me is one of my really good customers lives in Georgia and he was a forum member. And I forget what the forum's called. It definitely got when you read the name, it's like, yeah, that sounds like it belongs in Georgia.
Okay. So, how many of these did you do? Do you remember?
The orders were over 20. And they were pretty inexpensive because, I got a chance to hang around in the forum for a little bit. They gave me a free invite, and they were nice guys. But I'll tell you, I feel bad because after all that, for no particular reason, nothing personal, nothing political about it or anything like that, I just didn't have enough time to go back. So I think there was definitely over 20 ordered.
Well, that's pretty cool.
So I might even have an extra one sitting around the house somewhere.
What would you call that if you named that blade? What would you call that? Like
You touched on something I don't know about other makers, but I know a lot of makers have a hard time coming up with names because there's just so many makers these days. Like with my CRKT knife, mine was named I can't remember right now. It's because I had to change it. So it was a Falcon. I named it after a Falcon, and it turned out that Michael Hawk had a knife named after that Falcon. So in CRKT said, whatever we do, we don't ever compete with names. So you've got to find another name. So I think I ended up moving it to Peregrine Falcon from the original.
I don't remember that. This is a toothpick, dagger toothpick.
Dagger toothpick.
Okay.
And you're saying they don't make those anymore? So you're just teasing the shit out of me.
I just think they're going to stop. They're not expensive. Look, you see that? The whole handle?
Yeah.
It's all skulls.
Oh, that's the texturing on it? I can't see it. I wish you had more light on it.
That is adorable.
I'm gonna just coincidentally, just by coincidence, my phone happens to be right here. It happens to be, it must have picked up on the search on its own, dagger knives. How much did you say?
2 G's, 2 R's. So
yeah, it was only $35 or something like that, I think you said. Wasn't it, Inky?
I got it even cheaper from Chicago, but it took 2 weeks to get here.
Chicago.
Well, there you go.
Chicago.
Speaking of things that are taking forever to get here.
Yes.
Today, my loop dot flashlight that I ordered weeks ago is supposed to arrive. So it won't be here in time to torment Abe on this episode, but look for it next week.
I was going to say, don't show it. If you've got it, I don't want to see it because I just bought, I just bought another flashlight the other day, and I got another one in the to buy basket on Amazon, you bastard. Is anybody familiar with a company called JetBeam?
Yes.
Okay, so what's the quality consensus on those guys? Because that's the one I'm looking at.
I mean, it's been a while since I've done anything with them, but they used to be, and I might be wrong on this, but somewhere in and around the Phoenix level of quality, which is pretty good in my opinion.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, but I couldn't say for sure. I'm not a real huge flashlight guy.
You think Olight for the money is the best?
I don't know if I'd say the best. I'd say I certainly like them. The O-Clip, O-Light, O-Clip, O-Pro, something or other. The one that Abe just bought, I think that is a fantastic little light. In fact, I liked it so much that I immediately bought one for my father. And then I decided to buy another one for myself. And then I bought another one for a friend of mine. And actually, my brother's entire family, lame though it is, just got those for Christmas this year.
Actually,
all in different colors.
It's funny you mentioned the father gift thing because kind of as a small lead in to our topic. So this is what I carried on this thing has been with me on like years worth of canoeing adventures and hiking adventures. It's my favorite absolute carry. The only knife I ever bought my dad and gave to him a gift was I can't remember how many layers it had on it, but it was a smaller layered Wenger. That's the only knife that I ever, well, no, there was one. I gave him a money clip one when I was younger with, for his birthday with engraving on it. But the only one that I really gave him that I knew that I wanted him to use and carry was a Wenger. And it's, that's when you know you really like something is when you share it with the people you love. I know that sounds kind of corny.
Yeah.
So pull out the violins, but
what model is that there, Abe?
You know what? It's equal to the Victorinox camper, I think, because what made me get this was the lock.
Yeah.
So being a scout leader, they passed a rule for Canadian scouting that you could only have locking blades, so I could no longer just carry an ordinary Swiss Army knife. I had to find something that locked. And at the time, they were the only ones that made this format with a lock. So you can help me out with your Wikipedia knowledge.
Wikipedia? No, we use
Not Wikipedia.
SAKWiki. That's
SAKWiki, sorry.
sakwiki.com. I'll put the address right up here.
So I have a scaler on it, which I never use, but it's got...
Does it have the saw or the scissors on it?
It's got scissors and a saw.
Okay, so it's a 4-layer knife then.
The one I bought my dad is like 1 layer thinner. No, he didn't need a saw. And it's got the little, and this was different too. I always thought that was kind of cool. Set them across, was having a clip point for the blade. I don't know if you can see that better. Yeah, so it's got the corkscrew in the back, which I had the Vic micro screwdriver because I wear glasses. I've worn glasses. This is like a godsend in a way.
Yes.
Not only helped myself since, I wore glasses since I was 10 years old, but when I worked at Lee Valley, there was twice that I can remember customers come in and they were taking their glasses on and off to read stuff. And then all of a sudden they lost a screw out of there. We found it off the carpet and I just put it back in I didn't have to go get a micro screwdriver. I had one with me.
So that to me looks like the Wenger Forester, but I was wondering which model it was because it looks very much like this one right here, which is the Adventurer.
There's actually a little awl on this one. The only thing that I don't like about this one, never liked about this one here, was on the one on my I moved up to this one. I carried another one for years, but I moved to this one because I had the extra layer on it. I got the saw.
That's the Victorinox Ranger that you always talk about?
Yeah, but it's one of the things I like besides having the saw is this here.
The metal file.
Yeah, or just any kind of file, because as much as I don't know about other guys, but if you're working and you don't work with gloves, sometimes you wreck a nail. And that's painful to have. And one of my go-to things to do is to take care of broken nails and chipped nails with my Swiss Army kit.
Well, the reason we call it a metal file is not because the file is metal, which obviously it is, but because it's got the saw teeth on the underside, which is a metal saw.
Oh, okay. So in machining, when you have saw teeth on the side, usually that's just considered your file edge. When you have a file with no saw, no teeth on the side in machining, that's called a safety edge file. So that's so you can get right up next to a 90 degree and not cut the 90 degree while you're going down. So actually, I think I have one here. Give me a second.
That's good to know, because we've always called this a metal file or a metal saw because that's what it is.
Yeah. It's different, right? It's not that it's wrong. It's just used.
Yeah. This is not a machining implement, but
or sharpening implement. So, for instance, what I'm trying to find right now is they make a file.
Oh, there's an Eddie Bauer one. Yeah, that's a good one, Inky. Yeah. Which model is that?
Just the sensor. There's nothing else but the 4.
Does it have a locking blade on it?
See, I like those translucent acetate style handles. I mean, I love them in a screwdriver. Like my favorite collection has the translucent screwdriver handle on it. Here it is.
It's parts rated too.
Okay, that's like the other one I had earlier. I've got this here.
That's all it is. It's like I don't know, it doesn't even have a small screwdriver. It has the bottle opener, can opener, and blade. Serrated blade.
Let's see here.
Traveler.
So
Traveler, is it?
Yeah, I'm positive.
So you see this thing here?
Yep, SAKWiki would agree with you there, Inky.
Everyone would agree with me, Inky.
Good point. Yeah, okay.
Okay, so these edges are sharp. Right here, they got a file checkering on them. These, only on one side does it have, and the other side it's kind of smooth. But you have it here, right? So what these are used for is for anything that's an auger or drill bit style. So you can get in and do your what they call your raking and your relief edges. That's what it's called in tooling, is your rake and relief edge, but not cut a supporting edge. So if you were trying to get the inside of an auger bit, you're not going to cut into the shaft.
Right.
So, but you could. Yeah, it's very, very, Elsner's are super versatile. I mean, there's no saying that you can't call that your saw, because technically, if you've got an aggressive enough checkering, you could just cut through.
Okay. Well, with Swiss Army knives and multi-tools, the more features they can list on the box, the more they can charge for it. So, it is considered to be a metal saw.
Yeah.
Wow. Sosac. Where did you get that one, Inky?
I made it. My God,
I was going to say, I don't remember ever doing that one. How did you do that?
One of those engraving places. See, the letters get progressively deeper.
Yeah.
This has a lot of tools. It has the pliers on it. Locking blade.
So for those of you watching at home and are wondering what Sosac was the previous, well, it was the Swiss Army Knife organization that was started on knifeforums.com, and Inky and I were members of it back in the day. And Sosac stood for the Secret Order of Swiss Army Knives, which was the predecessor to the modern-day Swiss Army Knights that we have at multitool.org right now. And yeah, they are the keepers of sacwiki.com.
So why the name change, if I may ask?
Why?
Well, the Sosac name was owned by Knife Forums, which was run by Jim Nauka at the time. And Jim was a great guy, had no issues with him. But when it came time for him to sell to Blade Media, or F&W Media, I think it was, which owns
F&W
Blade,
at the time, yeah.
we decided to separate ourselves from them so that we wouldn't have any issues whatsoever. So we came up with the concept of the Swiss Army Knights, which, is virtually the same thing, but different enough that we are our own entity, and we have a really cool logo that one of our members designed for it.
Didn't you guys make a morale patch? I think you sent me a morale patch with that on.
Yep, we did some rubber patches, we did some fabric patches, we've done some stickers. It's a really, really great logo. Even, believe it or not, I had a hockey jersey made up with the Swiss Army Knights logo on it. Anyways, what else have you got there, Inky? What else have you got kicking around to show us?
I got lots of stuff. I brought a couple of things out just for Abe. I brought
What kind of things do you tend to look for in a Swiss Army knife?
Me?
Oh my God, is that an Oopa Dirk pickle?
Brought this out.
Wasn't that
texturing?
Wasn't that Dirk Potager that did those? Or was that somebody else?
Oopa.
Yeah.
We call this one the pickle.
He
became pretty famous. It's an Explorer.
He actually taught a friend of mine how to do that. It's they use a Dremel, and he taught him how to do it on Alox's. And my buddy said, well, one day I'll show you so you can do it on whatever you want. And we never got around to it, and he's passed away now.
Basically, just use the round engraving head on a Dremel tool and drag it across it in different ways.
Ooh.
And you get what they called, I think he called it melted or something like that, because it looked like it had melted a little bit.
Yeah,
well, I made him do the impossible. Add the toothpick.
Oh, yeah, he hated doing that.
This was this became famous on the forums. Remember that for a little while? And then another Oopa for you. There's another Oopa.
Oh, yeah? Yeah, that's nice.
I don't know what it is. There's a climber, and I fix my glasses with the corkscrew, like Abe does.
Yeah, the glasses are a new addition to me, but I've spent most of my life fixing everybody else's glasses because I was the only one that could see.
Tweezer and toothpick in that one, too. All right, I'll pass the torch to someone else there.
No, I like that. That's the abalone. You know how hard it is to find abalone these days?
So here's an interesting one you guys might not have seen for a while. These ones are actually in pretty high demand, despite being quite simple. They're actually, I don't want to say rare, but they are difficult to find.
84 millimeter waiter?
No, God, no. See, got the main blade there, right?
Yeah.
Oh, but look, there's something else in there. No. Gosh, what could that be?
Electrician.
No. It is a watch case opener.
Sorry.
Oh, that's cool.
This is the watch knife.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are looking for. What is the official name on that one? That was the Watchmaker or something like that. What do you think of that?
Workchamp XL?
That is definitely a Workchamp XL, and with the old slide lock on it.
Yeah, I got one. That's one of my favorites right there, Grant.
You know what? Despite the size, I actually find this one to be quite usable.
Very usable.
I usually don't like the bigger models, although I do like that. And this one, for no real reason other than the fact that I'm a bit of a snob, I much prefer the Wenger version of the Delamont series. But this was one of my favorites.
Yep.
This particular one I got from a flea market. It has somebody's name engraved on it. So if you know anybody named Sterling and or Simba, let them know that I have their knife.
The Mausers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I like
Nice.
those.
The old German Army knife.
Nice.
So what kind of things do you look for in a Swiss Army knife? If it's going to be something you carry, what do you like to have in it?
So just so that way you guys don't get waterlogged, because of what I do for work and when I'm camping. So when I'm camping,
I'm drinking anyway.
anyways, when I'm camping anyways, I like to have a saw, and I've kind of gotten used to the locking blade just in case accidents happen, right? But on my everyday carry, especially since I've put the clip on, again, it's like a saw, a file, a scissors. I can't stress how many times for nail care that I've gotten I like having the option for nail care.
Was that a pocket pal or was that a secretary there?
I got the label still on it.
One you had there a minute ago.
Yeah, no, this is the label's on the back of the case.
Okay.
I just can't read it. It's faded. It looks like EX.
Yeah.
EX something. Executive, maybe? I don't know. Would that be it?
No.
Didn't look like an executive now.
It might be an Excel. What do you call them?
Excelsior?
Like, yes. Maybe that's the
So this one is, I can tell you this.
Power, right?
This is an Evolution S52. This is an Evolution. So this I got because of the lock again, and I never got around to carrying it. And I would definitely, this is something, it's got a lot more stuff on it, but I would love carrying it. I always kind of liked I thought the Evolution design was one of those things that really, I found Wenger very innovative.
That is actually not an Evolution design. Hold that up again. And it looks like a Wenger S55. But that is, if you turn it a little bit so that we can see the front of it, there you go. So those rubberized inserts, that actually identifies it as an Evo grip.
So they must have mislabeled it, because I don't know if you can read that. It says Evolution 52S.
Okay, well, generally the Evolution is anything with the contoured grip like this, and the Evo grip is the one with the rubberized inserts.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, if they put the wrong label on it and it meant that it was cheaper. Yes. But yeah, no, I mean, so I've got the directions with it even, but I'm just saying, it's just, I've just read off the label. So yeah, no, probably too. Some of these I'm going to probably end up, I'm sadly saying I'm probably going to let them go. Because as much as I love this thing, it looks like a great knife that I should, now I'm looking at it, I don't know why I didn't carry it, because I got it. I know I picked the lock out because whenever I was picking a lock out, it was because I was going to carry the thing, and it's got the pliers on it. So this is this is the kind of thing I would, probably carry as a daily EDC because it's urban, right? I think maybe the more accurate way to state it is I kind of divide some of my knife collection, certain parts of my knife collection up into the ones that I would carry into urban versus non-urban, like for the camping. So this would have definitely made it an urban knife. Like in the end, I'm probably going to have to let this thing go.
Yeah. So there's two things that are really neat about the S55, and one is what you were showing there, the pliers. Those aren't just any pliers, though. The Wenger pliers are generally slip jointed, which is really, really handy because it makes the smaller pliers function like a larger set than they have any right to be. The other thing on there, if you'll notice, I believe it's opposite the Phillips screwdriver, is the wrench. I don't know if you've ever used that wrench, but I tell you, in a Swiss Army knife, it is a remarkably handy little thing to have. Just make sure that you're turning the bolt or whatever the right way. Otherwise,
yeah, it's shit. See, there goes a nail. I just broke my nail, so I'm going to use one of my other ones to.
God, good. Show us how you use it. Bring it up there.
Yeah, so there's no doubt that I picked this up at one point in time to help me with my home renovations and stuff in my business.
Yeah, that wrench is great.
Picked the lock? You said you took the lock out of it?
No, I think he picked the lock because he picked the knife because it had a lock.
Yeah,
gotcha.
And it's probably more than just the lock, because as I look, I haven't looked. It's weird. Sometimes you open up a box and I haven't looked in the box for years, and it's like, wow, like I forgot that I had this model.
Yeah, the S55 is one of my absolute favorite new models.
It's a great model.
So there's this one here. It's not a Swiss Army knife. I picked it up because it was rare, and I didn't, but it's got a Swiss Army knife style to it. It's I don't know if you can see that.
Well,
Is it
that
called
looks like a
KL?
Dutch KL. Depends on what year is on it.
KL 84. KL 84.
That is a Dutch army knife
A little
issued to
bit
the
more heavy
Dutch
duty.
forces.
And they put
Victorinox made some of them, but a lot of them were made by companies like Amifa and Eagle Brand and a few others.
That's what this is. It's an Amiva.
That was a tiny bit more heavy duty.
It's been sitting in that case for years.
Photon.
And that photon light still works. So
They never die.
I don't know. I think this looks like a regular Spartan, but I had hooked some chain to it.
Then the other chain goes to your nipple.
And here's, I think this is the hiker. It's got a hiker on it. It's only 2 blades, but 1 locks. See, I got hooked on this lock because it was so hard to get as a guy who just wanted a knife to carry around as a scout leader, didn't want anything big sometimes. This was perfect. And I don't know why they still don't. Do they use this lock at all anymore?
What do they call that? Traveler or something?
I think they still offer that lock. It's part of the Victorinox line now called the Delamont series, which is all the old Wenger stuff.
Here you go. So
what was that other green one?
That was another Mauser. There was a period of time where I was searching and searching. I don't know if it happens to you guys. I used to do this happens every time I do collecting. I'm searching and searching and searching for something, and then I finally find one of them. And then next thing you know, the next day I stumble across another one. Couldn't find an item for years. And so there was a period of time where I'd be walking through gun and knife shows, and I'd look down at the case, and there'd be a Mauser sitting there, and the guy'd have $20 on it when they were like around 60. I'd be like, oh, I'll take that. I remember it was I don't want to derail the whole conversation here. It was just one of the funniest things. This happens. I don't know if this ever happened to you too. I always ask people because it seems so weird to me. There was a guy from Knife Forums that was in Michigan, and he was in the Outdoor Survival Forum, and then he ended up joining another forum called the Lean-To, and we would meet up at the Novi Knife Show. Well, I walked in there early, and one of these Mausers must have been one of those Mauser, and I picked it up for $20. Well, he had lost or traded his Mauser to somebody. I forget, but he no longer had a Mauser, and he regretted it. He wanted one back. And
Story of my life.
Yeah, well, you know what ended up happening is he saw that I'd gotten that for $20, and he just got weird. I mean, the shit that came out of his mouth was weird. Like, you've already got one because I know you posted one on the internet, and I'm looking for one. That should have been mine. You should let me have that. Yeah, but it was just that it was really, really weird that the guy took that kind of attitude. So this might be the one that should have been in the box.
I got definitely one. Which one is that? That's another.
Yeah, that might have been the one that should have been in the box. I can't tell you.
Yeah, it's definitely an evolution scale and not an Evo grip.
For this, I carried this for the longest time. You can tell just by looking at it. It's dirty. It's worn. I carried this
classic.
Yeah, but it's I don't know why for a short period of time I was kind of into the Pittsburgh Pirates. Scales even broken on it. Buddy of mine ripped his hand open on this thing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he did remember, I'm going to say the classic thing. He pulls it open, takes his eyes off for a bit, goes to open up a package.
Yeah.
So what do you look for in a knife, Swiss Army?
For the most part, if it's going to be something I'm going to carry, you can't beat the compact, in my opinion. Again, like the flashlights we were talking about earlier, I have bought compacts for several of my friends and other people I know that, were like, hey, what kind of Swiss Army knife should I buy? You should buy a compact.
The best model for me too.
Yeah, so that's generally where I tend to go. My first one was you know what? That is the one Swiss Army knife I didn't get when we decided to do this today.
I got one, number 3.
See, I got this. This is the one I actually gave my dad. So that's the one my dad had. Getting the lock on it, and it's only got like I think a saw. But what I really cared about was the fact that he got a big blade and a little blade, can opener, bottle opener. Now I just found this. I can't, dude. Maybe this show was there was a reason why we had the show. Just found this, brand new in the box.
Is that it's a nail clipper?
Yeah.
Wow.
The whole entire time we talking about
one.
Yeah, the Wenger one. The whole time we were talking about having one. So there's the nail file. Yeah, there's the nail file in there. What else is this thing? What the frick is on this? That's a little micro screwdriver.
Oh, you must have the AT version without the blade then.
Yes, I do have the AT version. Here's the nail clipper. So here I was looking to buy a nail clipper, and all the whole entire time I had one.
Well, if you need to get rid of that one, you let me know, because I don't have an AT version. But there's the main blade and the nail file on mine.
And there's the scissors. So yeah, I didn't even realize, dude, I'm telling you, I haven't looked in this box in ages. I pulled it out so I could look up there and see what there was in here.
Okay, so that is a 130 millimeter new Ranger series Wenger.
Awesome saw on these things.
Well, it's the longest saw available in any multi-tool or Swiss Army knife, so yeah, they were great.
Those are Grant's favorites for years.
This has got
Still are.
That liner lock on it. The
Yeah.
button. Yeah, I love that about it. Again, like there was a period of time where I was just really just picking stuff up to see what would fit. I was throwing a piece of spaghetti at the wall to see if it'd stick and it was done. Right?
Well, it's just a beautiful blade, whether you've got the one-handed version or the two-handed version. It's just such a long, elegant blade with the subtlest recurve to it. You know, they're fantastic. I mean, it's just a beautiful edge.
I don't see. Here's the other one. I don't know. I was experimenting, so I just got the serrated blade version of that. It's just, and part of it too is the collector in you, right? The collector you're buying stuff you're probably not going to carry, but you if there's two versions of a model, you're going to buy it. Another Swiss Army knife tool I didn't realize I had in there. So that's a Swiss tool, Spirit. I won't drag you through, but this I bought because of my canoeing. I don't know what it was. I just said to myself, there's stoves you fix, there's canoes you fix. You need something to fix stuff. So I got the Swiss Army, I think they call it the Swiss Tool CS Plus. No, maybe this might not be the wrong one. No, it's the wrong one. It's a Swiss Tool. Somewhere in my collection, I have a Workmate. I think did they call it a Workmate? It was a Swiss Army knife with pliers on it.
That would be the Work Champ.
Work Champ, that's it.
Or, the Work Champ is the 111 millimeter one like this. And then there's the Champion, which is the 91 millimeter like you have there in your hand.
What is that?
Yeah, it's the first one.
That looks like a cyber tool of some sort, though.
This was
something light or cyber tool.
No, it's the Huntsman Light Ruby. Huntsman Light Ruby. This isn't extensively all my Swiss Army knife stuff that's in here.
Oh my God, we could do an entire series on any of our collections, I'm sure.
We could do a year on Swiss Army knife.
And still not cover all of our collections.
I think this is it right here. This is the one I was looking for. Yeah, Work Champ.
Every time I look back at, my boxes of Swiss Army knives, I find stuff that,
the
Work Champ XL. Yeah, I find stuff I didn't even know that I had.
Hold yours up, look, Grant. No, front. Show the front. The front. Yeah, like Abe. Yeah, they're both XLs, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
You guys are just the same. I just bought one of those. It's
People think that we're twins all the time.
I couldn't tell you apart.
Another reason why I bought this too was, again, locking blade. Because if I decided that this was what I was going to carry for scouting or anything like that.
Yeah, I would say that when it comes to Swiss Army knives, I tend to gravitate towards the compact. But yeah, that's the new German Army knife.
Nice. What's that? Which
Looks
one
like
is
a
it?
Pioneer, maybe?
Or Farmer.
Farmer. Okay.
I think I like the Farmer better because of the extra blade on it.
The saw?
Yeah, the saw. Yeah, the 3-bladed Alox models I find are always so much better in the hand than the 2 layers, which is why I went with the Synergy X when I found it in the store there.
And for a long time, I carried...
Just having the extra layer makes it fit in your hand so much better.
Yeah.
I gotta get one of those.
So for a long time, I think actually I know where I got it too. If I remember correctly, I think I might have traded or done something to get a hold of a knife that Ethan Becker had, which was the singular layer version of this, just the blade with that locking system.
Okay. I think that was the Solo, was it not? Yeah.
Yeah. I actually carried that one for quite a bit rather than just...
You got one of these?
Yeah, no. I probably might. I just don't, not orange.
No, this is done by Dr. Bill, I think.
Sibir?
Sibir.
Yeah, this one's an Outrider.
One blade.
So The Synergy X, you were saying you needed to get one, and you
Yes.
should, because, you know, everybody should. But I'm really not sold on it. For the one, I don't know if I can get used to this locking blade on it. And I've been using this one nonstop for probably a month now since I got it. And I'm still not used to that locking blade.
They all lock the wrong way, right?
Yeah.
Everything gets thrown out.
I do like the, instead of the can opener, they're now doing this box opener.
Yeah, you like it?
Which I do like as a box opener, but I tell you, when you try to, you know, cinch up on the screwdriver to use the screwdriver tip, you're basically putting your hand right on that edge, which I'll tell you is not actually as comfortable as you'd think it would be to grab a blade. I do like.
Stick it through your finger.
What's
You
that?
just got to sharpen it more.
Stick it through your finger.
I do like the fact that it has a nail file, but this crosscut file I find is a little too aggressive for dealing with your fingernails. I don't find it nearly as good as the nail clipper models or the nail file on, on my Adventurer.
That was made for your toenails.
Well, I don't know whose nails it was made for, but they were a hell of a lot more aggressive than mine. It's very much akin to the bimetal file that you see on the metal saws on the standard models, which is far too aggressive for nails in my opinion. And I'm still not sold on these cutouts on the handle. They do look neat, but I don't know. They feel weird. I can't get used to them.
Are you collecting a lot of lint?
And that's
Not
that's
as
I was
much
just going
as
to say
you
that's
think, because, you know, the pocket clip does keep it out of the bottom of your pocket, and I think that's the only saving grace. But yeah, I have had to clean some dirt and mud out of it a couple of times when I've dropped it while I was, you know, working up at the cottage or something. So all in all, I'm not sold on it, but I don't hate it. I do have, unfortunately, it's going to show up on camera there, but I do have a good little ding in it already. And it's, you know, right here on one of the solid bits. And I'm wondering if that had fallen and landed on, you know, one of the hollow piece corners here, would that have dented the handle? So yeah, other than that, I do like the idea of the pocket clip. I do think it is a very cool futuristic looking design. I think it looks, you know, like it belongs in a sci-fi film.
I got one in a box.
Mauser in a box.
What's your mouth?
Mauser in a box with.
Wow.
You
The
don't
book
got
and
me
everything.
that? I got the same thing from Chris, Cab Mad. He got it in England for me. I mailed it down years ago.
I think the weirdest Swiss Army knife in my collection, and that's saying quite a bit, because I have the, what is it called? The Swiss Beat. Do you remember that one, Inky?
Yeah.
That sounds familiar.
I see Abe looking very confused. It was an Alox model with a built-in MP3 player.
MP3.
Did you ever get one of those USB
Yes,
classic
I have a few
style
of those.
ones?
Yeah.
I got one. I forget why
They gave those out one year at SHOT.
Yeah.
To us media people, and it had the Victorinox catalog on it, and the media kit was on it, and so they were handing them out one year. So that's probably where you got yours, because that's where I got one of mine.
No, I can't. Didn't they try and have competitions of where they invited you up on stage and you had to hack your way into it? They claimed that it had a security system on it that you couldn't hack.
Yeah, they did do that as well, I think. At least I seem to recall. I could.
You remember this one, Grant? It's compact.
That wasn't a Spork one, was it?
It was done by a guy in Florida who ran away with the rest of my stuff. His name was MWM. And then Spork finished it, but it got some file work and everything on there.
That is beautiful file work on that.
They even filed the hook. He did a little file on the hook, too. Oh, but Spork didn't do it. MWM. MWM did it.
Yeah. But Spork is definitely one of basically all of the modern day Swiss Army knife modders that you see all owe a debt of gratitude to probably a handful of guys that started this back in the day, and Spork is definitely one of those. That is some pretty cool stuff there. That is some excellent work.
That mosaic, Spork put the mosaic pins in it.
Wow.
That is a beautiful piece there.
I think it's camel bone.
I'd suggest that you leave this stuff to me in your will, but it's very likely to shorten your lifespan.
This one's ostrich bone. I forget the guy's name who did it. These are my two compacts.
Very, very nice work.
I'll leave it to you.
Is that file work in the liners as well?
No, only on the hook. The liner want to do the liners. I figured contrast, you know.
So I mentioned to Grant before, this is what the one that I went canoeing, the
SOS or
knife I used for
something?
canoe. It's that Swiss Army, and this is one of my favorite belt pouches just because of this. I thought that made so much sense because if you've got when I talk about urban carry stuff, I don't imagine I'm going to be away from my house long enough unless I leave with the knife dull that it's going to get majorly dull unless I do something crazy with it. But when you're camping, just to have something like that, like a little steel quick for you to do touch-ups with, I thought was a really good idea on their part. I really, really like that. That's, I don't know, can you still get these?
The Zermatt pouches? I believe so.
Yeah.
I've certainly had enough. I'm on Victorinox here. I've had enough of them over the years that I don't think that they're discontinued or anything. I don't know if you can still get them in the basket weave.
They used to do a nice gold, like a rich brown one, and then the black one. And I got the black. I wish I would have gotten a brown one too. But yeah, no, I love this whole setup for canoeing, camping. This traveled more places than probably some people do in their lifetime, right?
I don't see any listed on the Victorinox site currently that have the steel built into them. So I guess maybe that's not something that they still offer.
I remember looking for the brown one, to get a brown one a while back, and I couldn't find them anywhere. Couldn't find the steel. You could find the sheath because you're right. You brought up that they just do no steel ones, but I haven't been able to find a brown one with the steel or one with the steel period.
Well, yeah, but I mean, again, we could do an entire year's worth of episodes just on the various sheaths that we have for Swiss Army knives. And this is actually a special one. And this knife right here is one of the reasons why we're doing this podcast. In the early 80s, my father was still in the military, and he had sent his sergeant to the Golan Heights as part of an observer mission. And while there, the sergeant decided to pick up some gifts for his CO, who was my father. And my brother and I both got Victorinox campers, which were the Swiss Army knife that started me on this journey of pocket knives. But this is the particular one that he bought for my father, which is a Champion. And if you look, you can see that it's marked Finnbat Undaf, which the Finnbats was a Finnish battalion. And UNDOF is the United Nations Defense and Observation something or other force. I think it was.
Pretty cool.
But yeah, this is an old Champion model. You can see it's got the old magnifying glass. It's got everything in it. Just doesn't have the pliers, which came in a later Swiss Champ model. But yeah, so this is one of the knives that basically started me on the road that I've been on, which has led to Multitool.org and the Swiss Army Nights and SACWiki and now the EDC-TV podcast. So very, very fantastic knife.
A guy who owned one of the shops I worked at had a bunch of this, and he sent it to get his LCC Lightfoot rehandled. And the guy he sent it to, MWM, had some, so I sent him this. And but it is ram horn, but it was light. It's not like for some reason, it was very whitish. I got some over here.
Well, MWM, if you're still out there and you're listening to this, feel free to send Dinky back the rest of his shit.
I brought one of my favorites. It's a solo.
Well, if it's one of your favorites, we definitely need to make time for that. What have you got?
I got 108 millimeter solo with green micarta. I love this thing.
And who did that one for you, Yankee?
Think it might have been Bill again.
Another one from Sibir, yeah. So Bill is another one of those guys that if you're into Swiss Army knife modding, you owe a lot of energy to. He's one of the guys that he wasn't one of the initial ones, but he was definitely one of the better ones. Sibir Bill, he did a lot of really great stuff. I actually have quite a few of his as well. Unfortunately, I don't have any here to show you. But one of the neat things that Sibir Bill had done was he had come up with he had he'd stripped the factory anodizing off of Alox scales, and he did HA3 anodizing, which is virtually indestructible. And you couldn't color them. They were just like a grayish black, but they were so indestructible. And I had gone to 2008. We did our meeting in Lake Sebago, and a bunch of us went down there. And that's not far from Freeport, Maine, where I went to Freeport Knife Shop and met up with Doug Dillman, who I mean, let's face it, if you're listening to a Swiss Army Knife podcast, you should know who Doug Dillman is. He used to support Dan Jackhart in the official Victorinox Collector Society. Doug Dillman at Freeport Knives would handle all of the annual knives, and I think Doug took it over when Dan left, and then I think Doug's son is currently doing the official Victorinox Collector Society. But at any rate, I had gone in and I was showing off this knife to Doug, saying it was virtually indestructible. Of course, he didn't believe me, because how is aluminum indestructible? So he had grabbed a quarter. No word of a lie. He started just digging at the scales with a quarter, and there were just metal shavings everywhere. And of course, part of me is thinking, oh shit, there goes my fancy knife. Now, when he stopped and he wiped it off, the scale was perfect and the quarter had like an edge worn off of it. So
Wow.
yeah, it was, yeah. Bill came up with some really, really, really great stuff. So Bill, if you're out there, man, give me a call, send me a message. You can get through to me at EDC-TV at multitool.org. I would love to hear from you. So that's pretty much it for today. We're running out of time again. Have you got any parting thoughts you want to share with anybody there, Inky?
Buy a lot of Swiss Army knives.
Yeah, you can never have too many Swiss Army knives, and no matter how many variants of different models you have, you're never going to have them all. I guarantee that. What about you, Abe? Have you got any parting thoughts for the folks at home?
Well, I think the Swiss Army knife is a perfect example of when you look at a product that is so well made, very loved, just by what Grant had mentioned. We could go on for years about sheaths being made. We just covered a knife that is a perfect example of something that's not only like loved, but loved for a reason, because it's practical use and its depth of service that it provides to users, because that, like we said, all the stuff all the different designs of them, all the people customizing them, and all the sheaths, and things, just accessories. That's a sign of a legend of a knife.
They are so common. They're so immersed in everyday life that you literally find them everywhere with local connections, and it's just it's pretty amazing how iconic they have become because of that. So, that having been said, we're going to shut things down for another night. Thank you for being a part of it. If you have any thoughts or questions, you can get us at EDC-TV at multitool.org, or you can post on the forum at forum.multitool.org. We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to hear your thoughts. We'd love to hear your stories. And that's going to wrap us up for, what is this? This is the first episode of 2026. So Happy New Year, guys, and Happy New Year to everybody out there. Remember, gear fades, but stories last forever. Thanks for being a part of ours. Have a great day. Bye-bye.